Hi, everybody. Do you hear me? Okay, so we are going to wait a couple of minutes to see if more people comes, and then we're going to start. Okay, so one more minute, and we go. For those who are already there, were you at the last live, or maybe you watched the recording? Okay, so let's go here. So I assume that you see my screen, and we're going to go through this live on the new part of. It's not new in the plugin system of CLN, but it's new in the live and also in the videos that I've put on the lnroom.live. So here we are here to talk about notification that Lightning D can send us to the plugin if we subscribe to it. So here I just put on the screen. This is what we can read in the documentation, and the topic we can subscribe to receive notification from Lightning D are those in the table. So channel opened, channel open failed, connect, disconnect. So if we want to be notified when we connect to another node, we subscribe to the topic connect, and so forth, so on and so forth. What is notification from JSON RPC specification is this is an RPC call that do not include an ID parameter. So normally it's not normally, but RPC call contain the JSON RPC parameter, an ID, and the method, the name of the method, and also params. So this is a typical request. And if when we send a request, we want to have an answer. But in the case of notification, we don't put an ID, and we don't care about receiving an answer to that request. So the notification that Lightning D will send us, we do whatever we want to do with them, but we don't have to answer back to Lightning D. And to do that, in the plugin system. So I remember a little bit how it works when we start a plugin. When we start a plugin, LightningD will start a sub-process of our plugin. We'll send a get manifest, and with that get manifest, this is when we tell the startup options that we want, the method we want to register, and also today the subscription. So this is at that moment where we tell LightningD about the get manifest. The live of today is divided in two parts. First part, we're going to show an example with the topic connect and disconnect with Python without using CLN. So this is cool to do it this way, because this can be, it's allowed to understand exactly how it works, and also it can be applied to other languages. And in the second part, we're going to do it again with PyLN client and see the subtleties of PyLN client and the goodies that it offers to do it. So let's go and jump into our terminal. So it's 20 minutes. I will stop, ask, see if you have some question. Then we do the second part, and 10 minutes to the question. So here is the terminal. At the top, we can see the setup on my machine. So I let it, you can read. Then we sourced the script startup reg test, as we did in other live and videos, from the Lightning repository, that will help us to start a Lightning network on reg test on our machine with the command startln. This start 2 nodes on reg test. So wait a little bit. Okay. L1 CLI, so the alias, this is that one for Lightning CLI with the LightningD of our node, which is temporary L1-reg test. So now let's go into our plugin, which is called this one, my plugin. So I took some of the part of the first live where we did a plugin without PyLN, because we are not going to rewrite everything, but only the part that are interesting for today. But anyway, I will walk with you what's already written. So there, this first part get manifest. So the first communication with the plugin. So we receive the request, we get the ID, we constrict the manifest, which is our answer to the get manifest request, and this is where we are going to modify a little bit those things. Then we pass to the init request. So it looks like the same, because really we receive the request from LightningD, we get the request ID, we constrict an answer, we send it, and then we start the IO loop. So at that point, this is where we are going to do some stuff also. So we read in the our standard input the notifications that we will receive by LightningD. Okay, so let's go here and see the manifest. So the manifest is here, is like this object. So we have the JSON RPC, we have an ID that we receive. This is the same ID that we received from the request, and a result. In the result, the object, this is where we defined whatever we want LightningD to be aware. So our plugin is dynamic. Option, we have no startup option, so we leave it empty, and we don't register any RPC method. So this is also empty, but it's the moment to notice that those parts, even if they are empty, so they do nothing, must be on the manifest answer. So now we are going to subscribe for connect, see how it works, and we're going to subscribe after for disconnect for the first part of the live. So let's go. So subscriptions, we are several subscriptions. So this is an array, and we subscribe to the topic. This is the only thing that we have to do in the manifest, and we can see that that manifest is sent after here to Lightning D. So first part done, and now what we can do, we are just going to receive that notification on the write into a file directly the request as we received it. So here we've opened, so with that files, temporary my plugin, we're going to append, which we name my plugin here, we're going to append the request. Right now, we know, as we've just subscribed to one topic and we do nothing else, that any request that we're going to receive from Lightning D is a notification and a connect notification. So we don't have to do some logic here that we're going to do after when we declare connect and disconnect as topic. So here, connect, want notification, and maybe it would be interesting to see how the requests look like. So here it is. We have something that that is enough to receive the notification and do something. And I pay attention right now that we are not writing on our standard output as we did the two previous for the init and the get manifest, because we don't answer to Lightning D. This is a notification. We are notified. We do what we want, and that's it. So let's go back to our terminal, and now we can. So as I did it before, I have the command line already here. So L1 CLI plugin, the command will start and will give the full path of the plugin. So it seems to work. Now maybe we want to connect the node 1 with the node 2. So connect is a command that is given by the script that we source from Lightning D, that under the hood, it just get the information of the node 2 and use the connect command with L1-CLI, but we are not going to do that right now, and we connect. So now we are connected. As there is a connect event, we subscribe to the connect topic, so we should see something in that file. So let's find out if we have something, and yes, so this is what we've written, connect notification, and this is a request, which is a notification, and we're going to see that there is no ID. So let's copy it and maybe open here a file to put it here. JSON mode, and this is, it looks like a little bit better like that. So this is, so how can we look something, my plugin here. So we are in my plugin, and this is that request that we received, and we can see we just pass it to, we treat it and we write it in the plugin. So we've changed nothing, and this is what the notification looks like. And first thing that we need to see is that in those keys or fields, we don't have any ID. So this is a notification. In we have a JSON RPC. The method is the method connect. So this is the topic we subscribe to, and we have the parameters. So this is what we have. Let's just now. So we are done. In some way, if you follow me right now, and you understand, you understood what we did, you know how to subscribe to a notification. Now we're going to refine a little bit, but this is the only thing that we need to do. In the get manifest, we subscribe to some topics in the field subscription, and then we treat it when we receive the notification from Lightning D. But right now, to do the parallel with the plugin documentation, we are going to right click directly in the repository Lightning, so Lightning doc plugins .md. So here we have the documentation, and we go directly to the one which is about Connect. Maybe first, so these are the event notification. So I just narrow a little bit on the unfold the part, and we see all those things. And now we are interested in the Connect because we've played with Connect, and this is what we did. So a notification for topic Connect is sent every time a new connection to appear is established, and the direction is either in or out. So this is what we get, with a little difference here with the address, but we have those three keys, and let's show it. It's better, and this is what we have in the params field of the notification. Okay, so this part is that part that we see in the documentation. So you can, so now you and we can do the parallel when we either work on a plugin that already exists, or write our own plugin. Now we are to do the disconnect. So a notification for the topic disconnects every time a connection to appear was lost, and in the params we are going to have only this, and do it. So we go back here in the myplugin.py, and as we want to subscribe to something else, to disconnect, we have it, disconnect. We just add it to the array of subscription. So there we say that we subscribe. Fine, but if we don't do nothing, nothing will happen. So let's do something. Now we want to dispatch among the two type of notification that we can receive. So method, the method is going to be, so then we deserialize JSON loads, we load the request, and we know in the request that we have a field method, so we take it, and now we want to say if method is equal to connect, this is what we want to do. And if the method is disconnect, we are going to do the same, but we maybe just change that this is a disconnect notification here. So I hope this is clear what we are doing. So we get the method from the request, and now we select if the method is connect or if the method is disconnect. In both cases, we write to temporary myplugin. So it should work. So let's find out if it works. We are going first to disconnect. So far, we didn't restart the plugin, so nothing changed or nothing has changed yet. So disconnect, and we need the node ID. So now we are disconnected. Let's start again. So as the file changed, the checksum of that file changed. So when we start, this will stop and restart the plugin with the new version of that file. Now, something cool that we can do. I like to do this thing here a little bit in parallel. So we're going to connect and disconnect on the terminal, and normally we should see things appear in my plugin because they are written on to the files. So let's connect. Cool. So we received the notification, and we wrote to my plugin, and now let's see if the disconnect works, and it works. So we see now we have a disconnect, and we can go in that part, and we see that in the param we just have the ID of the node we've just disconnected from, which corresponds exactly to what we have in plugin here in the documentation. So let's jump back to my plugin.py to resume, to summarize what we did, and then I will answer to some question or thought or idea, anything. So when we start, we receive a get manifest request, and in the answer, we add to the result a subscription keys or subscription parameters with an array with the topics we want to subscribe to and to be notified when something happens related to them. So connect and disconnect. A little bit after, there are the init requests. We enter the IO loop. We are here in the IO loop. We have the request. From the request, we get the method. We select if this is connect, we do something. If this is disconnect notification, we do something. And as I said before, but it's good to emphasize, because this is really the difference between JSON RPC method that we did in the last live when we register, and the Lightning D expect an answer to those requests with notification. This is not the case, so we are not writing to our standard out stream. So that's it for the first part, and I will jump into the dashboard. I don't know, the chat, and see if you have some question or thought. Okay, so it seems that we have no question right now. If you have any question after, or not just after, but if you work on something in the weeks that are coming, or and you want to ask me any questions on what we did, you're welcome. And you can find, I think, there's my information in my website, tonyalden.com, or in the lnroom.live also. You have those information. So super cool. I hope you're enjoying it. And now we go to the almost the same thing, but with little differences. And how to do it, with the standard implementation PyLN. I say standard because this is this implementation is extensively used to test the plugging system inside Lightning D. So every aspect that you might have thought about to make it work well have been done. So it's really impressive. Something that we are going to see is the error messages that are logged into the log file of our node. So really cool, I think. So let's go. We go back to our, maybe we start with the node. Let me breathe 5 seconds and we go. Okay, so let's go back into, first we go into our terminal. We are disconnected, so it's correct. Now we are going to use PyLN. So, okay, L1 CLI, we want to stop the first node because we want to start it with Python environment, a virtual environment activated to catch the right Python binary. So here we stop it, and now let's Python we produce virtual environment.venv. Now we activate it. So source.venv being activate, where it is activated. So we have now our right binary in the path Python that we want, in which we are going to install PyLN client. So pip install PyLN client. So it is now installed and we can restart. Did we do alias? Yes, we did alias. So now we can restart the node 1. To restart the node, we do something like that. We want to be daemon, and this is not CLI but Lightning D. Is this the one? Okay. Okay, sorry. Daemon. Okay. Maybe one. Okay, I'm writing really poorly. So. Okay, sorry for that, for those typos. Now we have the node started, and okay, let's go to this other files. So maybe you haven't seen how PyLN client works. So rapidly I tell you how it works. So here at the top we import the plugin class. At that step we instantiate that plugin. The plugin dot run at that moment is the IO loop that also include the get manifest and the init. So this start, listen, wait on the standard input, the incoming request from Lightning D, request or notification, and treat them. And now, before we start this IO loop, this is where we change the state of the plugin to be able to write the right get manifest that we've seen before, and to treat correctly the request and the notification. What we want to do is, in our case, is to subscribe. So subscribe, and we want to subscribe to connect. So what we do, this is the way, so these are decorators, and this is the way to do both the thing that we did before, that is to register to tell sorry, to tell the plugin that we want to subscribe to Lightning D. So in the get manifest, we are going to add in the RS subscription, we are going to add connect, and we also write here the definition that is going to do the work to treat the notification connect when we received the notification from Lightning D. So here connect. So we pass a function, we pass it the plugin always. This is the thing, and also keywords arg. This is required from the implementation and plugin, and we are going to do something here. So the thing that we are going to do is to write into a file as we did before, but we need to understand what are the arguments that we pass here and that we have access to. So those arguments are, if we go back to plugin, and we are now with disconnect, but with connect, are going to be ID, direction, and address. So this is what we have in the, so let's go back to connect here. This is what we received in the parent field. So in the parent field, we have ID, direction, address, and this is the request that we received. And the CLN do the tricks to dispatch to the right function, and the function is that one. So we need to go back to plugin, and this is going to be, sorry, those one, and we want them here as argument. This is the argument that are going to be passed to the connect function. Now, in the connect function, we treat the connection, the notification, and as we've seen before, we don't return nothing because anyway, CLN won't answer nothing to Lightning D. So we write something, and we are going to write to happen to temporary my plugin dash CLN to not be confused with the first one, to have that one, and maybe just write connect notification, and we pass it only the ID for now and a new line. So this is to do the same thing, that almost the same thing, because here we just return the ID, but we see after how to construct the notification. But this is only what we have to do, the connect here with this line, and we go. So let's go back to our terminal. This should work. And how can we see if it works? Start my plugin, and now this is my plugin CLN. We start it, CLN. So yes, I've made a mistake. So let me just subscribe. Sorry. So here I wrote subscribe, and I think this is the error that we get. I'm not lucky today with typos. The count is two typo. Maybe I'm going to do one more. So right now we are going to connect. So connect 1 and 2, that they are not connected because we disconnected before. Perfect. And now let's look. We have that new files with the connect notification with the ID. So this is correctly working. This is what we have, and the only thing that we have to write is this, and all the mechanism. So maybe we can do something like that. My plugin.p. Here, on the left we have with PyLN, and on the right we have without PyLN. But when we say that we want connect to subscribe to the connect topic, PyLN do that. It constructs the manifest and add the connect into the subscription array here, and it treats the notification with that function. So I hope this is clear. We are going to continue to follow. Before we go, what I want to say. Okay, two things. First, let's be sure that I didn't lie to you. So ID, direction, and address. I tell you that this was the way they were the argument were bind corresponding to the connect notification. So ID, direction, address. So maybe we can print out to write it to the to our file to see notif if I am a liar, or maybe I didn't understand correctly everything. So it's better to look at it, maybe comma. So now we have the notif. We change, we don't write the ID, we write the notif, but as this is a dictionary and we want to deserialize serialize it with they then dumps notif. Maybe there are other ways to do it, but this way works. Okay, fine. We disconnect first and we restart the plugin. The plugin started, and let's do it side by side. So my plugin PyLN. Okay, we have it side by side. So at the right we have my plugin -PyLN in the temporary directory. We are going to connect, and normally we should see now. Okay, so this is what we have. So we no longer have only the ID, but we have the whole things with the whole object with ID, direction, and address. Cool. So now let's continue. And one thing interesting to do right now to show that they thought about many things, many aspects of that library. If we write something wrong here, so this produces a type error, so we should have an error. If we have an error, a plugin returns an error when running. I think that well, this is what I've seen, but I'm not sure if it's always. But the plugin is the sub-process is killed. So if we do that in my plugin, so let's just go to that one. You can try it. I did it before, so you can you might want to try it too. If we do something like that here, this will fail. Okay, so this will fail and the plugin will be killed. But in the case of PyLN, this will be they catch the error and they write in the log of the node the traceback of the error. So let's see that. So if you decide to use CLN because it's a stable library, or because you are super confident with Python, this is the way to go, and it's interesting to see how to understand where to get information when errors appears. So I just disconnect the two nodes, and now what we do, we restart the plugin. We start the plugin CLN, so plugin start, seems to work, and we are going to connect up, disconnect. Nothing has changed in the files. So if this had happened, we will have shown something in the bottom to say that the file have been reverted with the new thing in the file system. So this is not the case. We have an error, and let's go to temporary L1, and we go see this is a directory of the node that is running that plugins, and we go to the log. So I know that it starts with traceback, so we look for a traceback, and we have it here. Is this the first one? Yes, this is the one that we want. And we have it here. So we see the traceback. There are two things that have been between the writing and the log, but we have the traceback, and we have the type error, unsupported operand type. The plus with int and string, we see it there, and in line at line 10. So if maybe you try to do some stuff, and you have some errors and you want to find out, you can rely on the log if you use the CLN. And let's just to be clear, this hasn't been killed. So the plugin is really running. So we look for its process, my plugin, and we have it here at that line. So this is still running. Just catch the error and put in the log. Cool. So let's continue our work into that. Do exactly the same to see that it works. We are going to do it with disconnect. So disconnect, we no longer at the notif. We just let that we do nothing, but we go back to the documentation. I think it's a good way. So we go back and forth with the documentation to see how we can get the information we need to work either with CLN or with other things. So disconnect will expect in the this is what is going to be in the params of the Lightning notification for the disconnect. So just one ID, and that tells that we want to subscribe disconnect. So we change all the connect. So disconnect, and we are going to have in the argument only ID, direction and address, no longer there. If we, I think that if we let them here, we will have an error. So we move them, and we are no longer printing, writing the notif dictionary, but the ID. Okay, so almost the same. We subscribe to disconnect topic. When we are going to disconnect, Lightning will send us a notification. In that notification, in the params of the notification, there is only an object with one ID key. So this CLN, when it calls the function disconnect to treat the notification disconnect, pass the ID that we have here, and we can do the stuff that we want to do, which is only in that case to write on the file. There are many things that we can do, but it's just to what we do today is really to understand the system, not exactly everything that we can do, but how it is put together, all the things. Go back to the terminal, and first we disconnect to be sure that we are disconnected. We restart. As the file change, this start with the new restart with the new files. And now would like to see, and maybe you too, on the right, this one. So we have this one. Maybe we can do it like that. So far we just have a connect notification with what we did before, and now we are going to connect. This is something, so this is still working, but now we've added disconnect. So this is a disconnect that we want to see working, and the disconnect also works. So we can go here, and we have the disconnect that just writes the ID of the node we've just disconnected from. Okay, cool. So we almost done. There is two things that I want to do with you before wrapping up with some question, if you have some, which is we've seen connect and disconnect, and we've seen how PyLN pass the arguments that are in the params of field of the request from LightningD, which is a notification because there is no ID, so we don't have to answer to those requests that are a notification. Let's see another one just to see how those arguments and are passed to the function. So we are going to see another event, which is about invoice creation. So let's go back to plugin. Another thing that we have invoice, and when that's happening anyway, can do it like that. And invoice creation. So for invoice creation, a notification for the topic invoice creation is sent every time an invoice is created, and this is what is passed to the in the params of the notification. And so the only key that is going to be bind in the argument of the function by PyLN is invoice creation. Let's see what does that mean, but maybe you already understand what we are doing. So we change, we subscribe to the invoice creation, first line. Second line, we've changed the name of the function that is now called invoice creation func. What we write, we want to write invoice creation and no disconnect. We change the ID in the argument and also what we write there. So we do that, we passed it, and maybe we go there, and invoice creation now isn't just a value. It's not just a string or an integer that we can cast to a string to go there. This is a dictionary. Exactly, this is this dictionary. So we have to only serialize it, and we can do that with JSON dumps. Let's see if it works. Now, blah blah. See, we don't care about connected or disconnected. We start again, so we restart. we do under my plugin, we want to see it on the right. Okay, so now let's do an invoice. A1 CLI invoice, and the invoice maybe 0.01 BTC. This is an invoice on description pizza, and I hope this is working as expected. So this creates an invoice with the node 1, and the node 1 is running the plugin that has subscribed to the event, to the topic invoice creation, if I'm not wrong. So let's do this. Okay, cool. So this is working exactly as we wanted. So we have it here. Maybe it's clear like that, and we have those information, and this happened after creating a new invoice. Just to notice, I don't know why, but here we have amount MSAT, and maybe and here is just MSAT. So I don't know when it changed, or there's a little mismatch, but maybe I will ask to the core dev. So okay. So we are done with the implementation. Let's go back to my plugin here. I will do, so we see it entirely. So this is the way we subscribe to a connect here. At that stage, we subscribe to disconnect, we subscribe to invoice creation. If we go to my plugin.py, this is really what we are putting in that array subscription in the manifest, connect, disconnect, and the other one, which is invoice creation. And this is done by CLN. When we receive a connect notification, this is treated with connect function here, just below that line, and the argument that are in that function are exactly the ones that are in the keys in the object in params, in the params keys of the notification. So ID, direction, address. For disconnect, this is just the ID, and for invoice creation, this is the invoice creation. Last thing that I want to show you, if you decide to read more about the test, or if you want to go further with CLN, there are many little plugins used in the test. So let's go in the test. Lightning test and plugin test plugins. Why I can't plugin this? Not this one. It didn't work like as I wanted. Sorry. So I'm going to go there. Okay, now it will work. So test plugin. No. Sorry. I want to go too fast, and this is not the way. So in the Lightning repository, in this one, I go to the test, and I want in the test the plugin directories. We go there, and you can see all those plugins that are used to test the plugin system. So this is an interface to see them. So you can go through, and there are many things to learn from how it is used, how they works, why they are used that way, and they are used in the test. So you can read the test and see how it works. And in the last live, we see how a little bit the test work with CLN testing. So you can I don't know if the sentence is a join the dots or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, if we are just interested in plugin describe, so I'm just doing read grep in that directory for the line which has plugin at plugin.subscribe, and we have 13 example line with that can be that you can see here on the screen. And so if you want to go more, there's a forward events, block added, coin movement, send pay success, send pay failure. So there are many things that you might be interesting to get insight. So we're done, and we have a little bit of time left for some question. So do you have any question? Was it clear? Are you already writing plugins? Okay, so a super question from Dame. How are each of these functions connected to the two notification here? How does connect function get called when the connect notification is received? So it's a bit long to answer, and I've done 3 videos on LN Room. So I will look for lnroom.live. I put it in the chat, and you can start with the first one. Yes, this is the first one that do it. Plugin run, a pop up. Okay, so you can watch this first one. So I put it in the chat. So there are 3 videos that explain how PyLN works beyond the scene, but this is a good question. So it's a bit long to answer in this. But how to do it simply? Maybe I can have a. Okay, wait a minute, because we can do so normally we are done in 2 minutes, but maybe we can take just 4 minutes, because this is a really interesting question, and we can go there. Okay, so I can go through with you. So right now we are not interested in the plugin run. We are going to run that each part of those things to see what's going on, not by reading the source code, but by reading what is happening. So I've just started a Python interpreter that is running in the Python environment that we've said before. So, and I will send from the top to the bottom the expression that we have on the top. So, for instance, I've just sent, so you can see in the bottom, send from PyLN. So I've just import plugin. So now we can go to that one. Maybe we import JSON too. And we have the plugin. So right now we have the plugin, this one that has been instantiated, and in our case, subscription. So this plugin has the property subscription that right now, if we see at the bottom, so we send it, is empty. Okay, so this is empty, and there is nothing. But when we use, when we evaluate that, we send it to the Python interpreter. This will modify the plugin. Okay, so the variable that we have. Let's see if it works correctly. So yes, it works correctly. And now we can look at plugin subscription, and we can see that now it's no longer an empty dictionary. So this is a dictionary with a key which is connect and the value which is a function, connect function. So if we continue here, we do that also for disconnect. So let's see that. So super question. So we see now that we have a dictionary with two keys, connect and disconnect, and they have as value two different functions. So the function connect function for connect and disconnect function for disconnect. Let's continue. We do it for all, and now this one we send it, and we have three keys in that dictionary plugin subscription before entering in the IO loop plugin.run. Then when we enter in the plugin .run, when we start normally the plugin with a node, what will happen is that CLN will look at that dictionary and will take the keys, and those keys will construct the subscription part that we need in the manifest. So this will describe, this will tell to Lightning D what we want to say, the topics we want to be notified to. With that said, then in plugin.run, we are listening in the input, and when we received a request, CLN will look if it's a notification or just a normal method, and if it is a notification, it will look in plugin subscription, and in plugin subscription it will look if it has one key that corresponds, and it will take the correct function to construct a result, and with that result, that's it. Just to it doesn't construct a result; it just use it to write in our case. To write to our file or do anything else you want to do. So this is how it works. I hope this answer a little bit to your question, Dame. I think that with that you can get started, and by watching the other videos about CLN client also. Any other question? Okay, so perfect. We will stop there. Thank you for attending, and I had a good moment with you. I hope this was useful. Check lnroom.live if you want more videos, and I hope to see you in the next live.